Okay, we're here with Dick Eastman, who is the author and owner of EOGN, the Eastman Online Genealogical Newsletter, and probably, I think, the most read, or one of the most read online blogs or newsletter that's available.
I hope so. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's we definitely have a pretty good readership.
Absolutely.
Well, so, thanks for inviting me today.
Oh, certainly. Well, glad to have the opportunity to speak with you, and just wanted to get your thoughts on FGS this year.
My thoughts are it's fun. You know, I write in my newsletter a lot about conferences and so on, and that's a great excuse for me to go travel around and go to a bunch of them. And I go to quite a few. I go to all the larger ones. Most years I hit half a dozen of the smaller ones. FGS is one I've been going to for years, and I won't say every year has been better than the past, but the last few years have always been better than the previous one. And this one is a perfect example. To be blunt, I think the FGS has their act together. They're doing it well, and you can tell by the size of the audience. I haven't heard the latest numbers, but even on the opening session, they said they'd already had over 2,000 attendees, and that number is going to grow a little bit more as more people walk in. And I'm sure Saturday will be quite a few walk-ins. Typically, that is. So whatever the final number ends up, it's a major conference for our community. And, you know, I've been here and walked around and talked about people. I haven't seen any major hiccups. It's worked. It clicks.
Have you noticed anything different that they've done this year?
Different. I would say one thing, I'm not sure it's radically different. They experiment every year. So some of these things they've tried before, but this year it's working well. They're in a little bit of a smaller city that is both a bit inexpensive compared to some previous. Let's face it, having it in your major cities like New York, Philadelphia, or Los Angeles, where it costs a lot of money to attend. It's higher price for the attendees and for all that. Now we're in Springfield. Now Springfield's a very modern city, but it's not super high priced.
Right.
So I pay for my way here, so I appreciate that. I think that worked well. It's also a very compact environment. You've got two major hotels within about 20 steps of the convention center. That's not bad. There's a whole bunch of restaurants within 2 to 3 blocks. I walked by several last night. Found a great place. So it's the environment in which we're in seems to work very, very well for this. I don't know if traditionally FGS is in a different city every year. I don't know if they can replicate that every year or not, but I certainly hope they can do it often.
Wonderful. Well, I've mentioned to both Pat and Josh how impressed I am with all of their organization. I think they've come together with some really great ideas. So it's been a really fun conference.
Oh yeah, they know how to throw a party. This has been good.
They definitely do. I mean, from the Prairie Social to all of the fun little events that they're having. So I'm sure the gala tonight will be fabulous.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
I suspect it will.
Absolutely. So anything new happening with your newsletter, or?
The newsletter, no. In fact, I work pretty hard to keep status quo. A few years ago, I tried to expand to do this and try to do that, and what I found is I usually diluted whatever I was doing, and it usually ended up with I don't think I ever had a bad experience, but some of them were kind of mediocre.
Right.
And so the last couple of years, I tried to pull back and focus on what I'm comfortable with, which is what I started with. So I try very hard to write about current affairs. I like to talk a lot about technology, new software, new hardware, things of that sort. It's always been my core thing, and some of the other things that I've tried, I'm pulling back. I have more fun with it. I'm more comfortable with the core functionality, and so let's do it. Somebody said a little while ago, if it isn't fun, why do it?
Exactly.
So that's kind of my motto these days.
And you have another site that is more like almost a wiki.
Yes, we have one called the Encyclopedia of Genealogy, which is a wiki. That was I brought out some years ago. It's an almost identical URL. The newsletter is on EOGN, which stands for Eastman's Online Genealogy Newsletter. So I very cleverly made the wiki on EOGEN, the Encyclopedia of genealogy. I thought that was so clever.
That is. That's very.
Yeah, except it's confused everybody. Everybody confuses the two. And I think I drove the attendance down on both sites because of that. So if I ever have to do it over again, I'm going to pick a different URL. I'm going to call it Richard's Place or something. I don't know.
So can we expect to see you presenting on that maybe at a future FGS?
Possibly. Actually, I set it up. I built the foundation, and I've done almost nothing with it since. If you know what wikis are, the beauty of wikis is that most of the information is contributed by the users. And I think this is a perfect example. It's a place, if you're trying to find a medical definition, you found a death certificate from the late 1800s that said he died of pleurisy or something, or some term that you don't know what it is. That it serves as both a dictionary and an encyclopedia for terminology of that. You'll find about societies in your area. A lot of societies have short entries there. They typically have 2 or 3 paragraphs describe the society, the audience they serve, and probably has a link to their page.
Very relevant for a conference like FGS.
And the beauty is I do very little of it. People who have an interest and want to help in information are the ones that are contributing. Anybody can contribute it. I keep an eye on it, so if anything appropriate, inappropriate is posted, I can click a couple times and revert back to where it used to be. And we've had that happen, and it's a rather minor problem. If anybody puts up spam or something in there, it takes about 20 seconds to fix the problem. If anybody knows anything about wiki technology, that's the beauty of it. It's all things like, I'll go back to the medical terminology. I started that, I salted it by putting up 30 or 40 terms, and other people have gone on and they've expanded the descriptions I've had. They've added probably another 100 or so since then. I love it.
Well, so tell me just a little bit more about your participation in FGS this year. I know you've had some blogger types of events.
My participation this year is almost zero. I am sitting here and I'm an attendee and I'm loving it.
Actually get to enjoy it.
Absolutely. I've been to some lectures. That's rare. Years ago I used to run around and do all sorts of stuff, and I never got to go to any lectures. This year I've been to several.
What have been some of your favorites?
I'm going to embarrass myself. I can't remember the lady's name, but she did it on copyright yesterday, and she was great. It's a topic I have some interest in, but I'm not sure of being a lawyer. She stood up there and gave a presentation in plain English that all of us could understand. That was great. And that's the kind of things you see at FGS. Everything from legal topics to how to research Indiana ancestors or Illinois ancestors. That part of it tends to be local to the area we're in. So since we're in Illinois this time, it's Illinois and the surrounding states. If this particular conference next year is going to be in Mississippi, so I would expect it to be quite a concentration of southern genealogy research. And those are usually quite well done, and those often are presented by people who are not nationally known speakers. They're often local experts in that area.
Who have the opportunity to come because it's in close proximity. Well, thanks for taking some time with us and sharing your thoughts about the conference, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future.
I hope to be doing this for another 50 years.
Well, we hope so too.
Thanks a lot.
There will